Hey everybody! In this video, I'm going to give you my favorite Habs players and coaches all time, but I mean in my lifetime. So you could say all time or in my lifetime. My favorite Habs players and coaches all time. I'm going to give you 10 players and 5 coaches. I'll give you their stats, the years that they were here, and anything I can think of to say about them. And that's all right here at Talking Habs, the home of Habs hockey, where everything is dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. And if you want to get more videos like this, uh, head down there, subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. And while you're on your way down there to do that, give a thumbs up if you like the video, and leave me any comments in the comment section about your favorite Habs players all time and your favorite coaches. So we'll start with number 10. Number 10 was a center from the 70s, Pierre Mondu. Pierre Mondu. I liked his name a lot. I know that sounds weird. I just something about his name. I liked the sound of his name. I didn't spell it right. Let me spell it right. And he was a really good second center. Uh, Good production. He got injured, I want to say, in a playoff game, but it might not have been. But a stick to the eye, and he couldn't come back and play anymore after that. He was here from 1976 to 1985. He played 548 games, 194 goals, 262 assists for 456 points. That's close. I mean, that's probably about somewhere around a 700 to 800 scoring rate. I don't know what the term is. Close to a point a game. Um, and just a solid, dependable second line center. Number 9, coach that's here right now, Kirk Muller. Muller was here from 91 to 95, played 267 games, 104 goals, 143 assists for 247 points. He won a Stanley Cup in 93 with Montreal. I believe I want to say he was the captain, but I'm probably wrong that he wasn't the captain. Um, Back in those days, we used to play, I think it was the Sega Genesis or something, hockey. And on that, for some reason, every time we were playing, my ex-wife started this. Whenever she was playing, whoever had the puck for her was going to score. She was go Mauler, go Mauler, go Mauler. So we just did that all the time, and so it became a thing. We just love Kirk Muller, and I used to pick him every year in hockey pools if I could get him. Next up, one of my favorite all time, and not because he was the best of all time. He just something about him I liked. I just liked Shane Corson. Corson. I'll give you his numbers in a sec. He was here on 2 different occasions, from 85 to 92, and from 97 to 2000. He played 662 games. He scored 168 goals, 255 assists for 423 points. This was a solid teammate to have. He'd stand up for you. Was tough, going to corners, that kind of thing. I just love Shane Corson. I used to work with a guy at a restaurant, and he was from Iran, and he loved hockey. He loved the Canadiens, and he loved Shane Corson. Absolutely loved Shane Corson. Thought Shane Corson was the best hockey player in the league, and that's in the days of Wayne Gretzky. So there you go. Next up, number 7, Chris Nyland. Chris Nyland could have been a goon. Maybe on any other team he would have been, but in Montreal you had to play. You had to still be able to play, and he had great line mates, Bob Gainey and Guy Carboneau for most of his time here. Scored 21 goals one year with 37 points total for that season. I think he had another season of 34 points and 19 goals. They made him into a hockey player who could fight. He was one of the smaller of the fighters, but he was also one of the best. We loved him here, still love him to this day. Chris Nyland. He played here from 79 to 88, and then came back for the 91-92 season. He played 523 games, 88 goals, 87 assists, 175 points, 2,248 minutes in penalties. Love Chris Nyland. Number 6, Our current goalie, Carey. Not bad, not a good art. Price. Yeah, I love Price. One of the most maybe acrobatic Habs goalies I've ever seen. Um, just one of the greatest goalies, the three best that I've seen in my time here, being a Habs fan. Price has been here since 2007. He has played 664 games. He is 341, 241, and 72 with a 249 goals against and a 919 save percentage. And I didn't look to see somewhere in the 40s for shutouts. I didn't mark that down. Don't know why. We all know about Carey Price. Number five. Number five just inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame this season, and that's Guy Carbonneau. Guy Carbonneau was probably the quintessential shutdown center. Um, he could shut down any line. Anytime you needed to shut down a line, you put Carbonneau on him. Carbonneau could also score. He was a big scorer in junior, which a lot of people don't know, but I've said it a bunch of times. And yeah, Carbonneau, just a great player to watch, captain of the team for the last Stanley Cup. Yeah, the last Stanley Cup. And yeah, got a bum's rush out of town because he gave the finger to a reporter when he was playing golf. And then within a short period of time, traded to St. Louis. So Guy Carbonneau from 81 to 94, he played here. 912 games, 221 goals, 326 assists for 547 points. And he was a plus 158 in his career here. So Guy Carbonneau, number 5 on my list. Number 4, the Roadrunner. Everybody know that name, the Roadrunner? The Coyotes after you, Roadrunner, Yvan Cournoyer. Better spell it right. Oh, I'm not. I'm not spelling it right. Oh my God, Rick. Just spell it. Just print it out badly. Nobody will know. Yvan Cournoyer, the Roadrunner, could first of all he was fast for his day, especially. He could at the last second flip his stick and go to the other side and score from the other side. That way, he was ambidextrous. He was captain for a while. He was 5. He might have been 5'7". I think he was 5'7" or 5'9", one of the two. Small guy, had a great career from 63 to 79, played 968 games, 428 goals, 435 assists, pretty consistent there. 863 points for Yvan Cournoyer, one of my favorite players. I never forget the few times, he didn't do it a lot, but I saw at least 2-3 times where he's flying in on that and he just flip the stick over and catch the goalie totally the other side and shoot the puck in with with his left hand. I think he was right-handed and he went to the left side. Number 3 on this list, Ken Dryden. Ken Dryden was a great goalie. He played only, I think, 8 seasons here. He had a season break in between from 71 to 73. Then he took a year off and was here from 74, 75 to 79. Played 397 games. Was 258 wins, 57 losses, 74 ties. There were only ties back then. He was 2.24 goals against and a 919 save percentage. Good numbers, great goalie. Yeah, he was a stand-up goalie, no butterfly in those days. If you look at the films today, you look and go, he doesn't look that great because we're used to the butterfly goalie, but he was a great goalie. He won Stanley Cup and was a Conn Smythe winner before he was even a rookie. Came up for the last 6 games of the season, won them all, started the playoffs and won the Cup and won the Conn Smythe. And then he was a rookie the next year. Number 2, just ahead of him, is the best goalie that I've seen so far. Money goalie especially, and that's Patrick Roy, best competitive goalie. When he wanted to shut the door, that's it. He shut the door. If there was an important game when a goal might get by him, and then that was it, you could see it. That's it. And he didn't let anything else by. The greatest goalie in my day. I just love that guy, Patrick Roy. From 84 to 95, 551 games played here, 289, 175, and 66. He had 278 goals against, and for some reason, I couldn't find his save percentage for just Montreal. So I didn't put it. Patrick Roy, I mean, everybody knows how great he was. Number one, and if anybody knows me, watches my videos, you know who's up here. Guy Lafleur. Guy Lafleur is my hockey idol. Um, Basically, the second hockey player I fell in love with after Tony Esposito when I was just a little boy. And Guy Lafleur just meant everything. Watching him with his hair flying back, his beautiful skating stride, his shot, his playmaking, just everything about Guy Lafleur was just fun to watch. From 71 to 84, 961 games played, 518 goals, 728 assists, 1,246 points. Great hockey player. Love that guy. Let's move on to the coaches. Number 5 for coaches for me is probably not anybody else's, but Bob Berry. He didn't have a great record here. I just something about him that he was just a nice guy. He was a former player, Pittsburgh and somewhere else, I think. And he just, I liked him. From 81 to 84, he coached 223 games, was 116, 71, and 36. Playoff record in 8 games was 2-6. So not great years for Montreal, just ahead of their cup win in the 80s. But Bob Berry, I liked him. Number 4, one of my favorite players and one of my favorite coaches, Guy Carbonneau. Guy Carbonneau got shuffled out surprisingly one day from one of his best friends, Bob Gainey, fired him. Don't know why. It was a big mistake. The problem wasn't with the coach. The problem was with the players that were being put onto this team. Guy Carbonneau, I really liked him as a coach and as a player, obviously. 230 games as a coach, 124, 83, and 23. Playoffs, 12 games, 5-7. And he was coach from 2006 to 2009. My third favorite coach was Jacques Demers, the last coach to win a cup here. From 92 to 95, 220 games coached, 107, 86, 27. Playoffs, 27 games, 19-8, and 1 cup win. He was also a friend of, I was working at a restaurant at the time. He was a friend of the owner. I did not get the chance to meet him, unfortunately. They just had the greatest things to say about him. He's a really nice guy, kind of a fatherly figure type of guy, and I just liked him. And he was a good coach. Second is Pat Burns. Pat Burns, never really heard of him before he became coach here. From 88 to 92, 320 games coached, 174, 104, and 42. Playoffs, 56 games. He was 30-26. Just another one of those guys. Something about him you liked. He was an ex-cop, so he had authority. He just was a nice guy and kind of seemed always like an underdog. But just like Pat Burns, he's passed away since, finally in the Hall of Fame, and just a great guy from what I've heard. And we all loved him here in Montreal. Number one, of course, I don't have to write his whole name, but I do have to spell like the last name properly. Scotty Bowman. Scotty Bowman was the coach's coach. Scotty Bowman was a psychological mastermind. Kept his players on edge all the time, kept them at their best, motivated them any way he could. Scotty Bowman from 71 to 79, 643 games, 419 wins, 110 losses, 105 ties. That's an amazing record. Playoffs, 98 games in the playoffs. He went 70-28, 5 Stanley Cup wins, 4 of them in a row. Great record as a coach. Second best record. No, the best, maybe the best record in coaching of all time. The most Stanley Cup wins of all time for a coach. I'm not sure what he's up to at this point. I didn't look that up. And just for me, the best coach I've ever seen. My favorite era of hockey. My favorite coach of all time for Montreal. So there you have it. That's my video. If you like the video, give a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. While you're on your way down there to do that, if you haven't already, could you please subscribe and ring that notifications bell? And that's going to get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge from Talking Habs. And me, that's me, Rick from Talking Habs. Yeah, now babbling. So, about to do a live stream. So thanks everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm not close to 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for their support up to now. And when I do hit the 1,000, I'm going to have a special video coming out. And just want to thank everybody. So thanks for watching the video. Peace out. And I'll see you on the live stream. Bye, y'all.